Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 and more updates on all the storms last night. Hopefully you woke up and didn't have any damage or last night during it. Hopefully everybody's safe. There was a tragic death in northwest Indiana. A woman inside her house in Cedar Lake. Tree fell on top of it, came down, and tragically a 44-year-old woman died. And right in our listener area, a lot of listeners in Cedar Lake. So we're thinking about her. And also you guys out there with, the damage. And just last night, I got to admit, it was pretty terrifying. And I usually don't get so crazy about a tornado when there's like one. When there's a tornado warning, it's going on, we're following it. Last night, they could not track the tornadoes.
It was like a prison break. I won't let all the tornadoes out.
That's right. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Who let the tornadoes out?
Pop it up like daisies.
I don't know what you were watching when it was going on. I was on Channel 7, and Cheryl Scott was on there. And she actually got nervous. You could tell when they finally said at one point around 10 that there are two tornadoes on the ground headed for the loop, headed for our studios. And they said, everybody's got to go under. We're going to stay on the air. They kind of left her on the air. Everybody else kind of bailed.
Well, at this point, she's like the captain of a ship, if you will. This is weather.
That's what you sign up for.
You have to go down with the tornado.
But
The
the funniest thing is they were saying it's literally like coming into the West Loop, and she's sitting there, and their studios are on the street on State Street, and they have the camera that goes out front. And there's people walking around shopping. I saw somebody, Chick-fil-A's open. It's right there. Let's go in there. Like, nothing's going on. But it got really bad with the amount of rain, the sideways rain, the lightning.
The whole thing.
The whole kit and caboodle.
I mean, I was watching ABC 7 like you, Brian, and it's never comforting when you have meteorologists, especially excellent meteorologists like they have there, going, well, I've never seen this before. Yeah. And they were talking about the tornadoes near O'Hare and Midway, and they go, well, I have never seen that like this. I go, well, that's really concerning. I'm really scared now.
There was some POS at the airport, like, it's not even that bad out. I got to get in tonight.
Yeah.
There's nothing I dislike more than a storm tough guy. That's, it's not even that bad. It's just a little bit of wind.
Why don't you do your job and fly the plane?
I got a connector to Denver tonight. I got to make it. You land the plane. Yeah, it was wild. In fact, during the live broadcast, they were showing O'Hare when they actually had tornadoes at O'Hare. I mean, that alone sounds weird. And it's the other meteorologist with Cheryl Scott. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. But he says, can you remove our bottom scroll so I can see better? And they took it off, the bottom scroll thing. And he goes, yeah, see, there's debris right there. And Midway at the same time as well. I think there were 7 actual, specific landed sightings of tornadoes last night.
It was insanity. I couldn't keep track. I don't know what I feel like tornadoes and twisters can move in all directions. So once they pass me, I'm like, what if they decide to throw it in reverse? I'm concerned. They're already out there. I was terrified. They'd be like, well, we just double back. Yui.
I was a little worried about Case because he moved yesterday, and he moved into the highest land he's ever lived on.
With a bunch of glass windows surrounding the entire building. I just
think it's such a Case thing to happen. Could you imagine if all of his windows broken? Maintenance would have taken a year to get up there. He would have been like, I have cardboard. Can't see out the window. Thank God.
It was really, I hate to use the word inconvenient, but it's the word I'm going to use. Living in the city, Kenzie, where you're at in Elgin, the storms hit you, around 8 o'clock last night?
I mean, yeah, and they weren't supposed to hit till 10, so my son was at baseball, and that I did not like at all. I was calling my husband I don't care what it's going to do is RBI percentage, get his ass home and in the basement.
But living in the city, living in Uptown where I'm at, the storms did hit at 10, and as somebody that normally goes to bed at 9, it was a real gamble of well, shoot, I'm going to have to go to bed at some point. Oh, it's going to be right when the storms hit. That's really inconvenient.
I can only imagine Case when the storm hits, and he just moved into this building. So they don't know who he is, really. So a tornado hits, and his windows get blown out, and he calls whatever. He doesn't know what to call. He calls the front desk, and he goes, my windows are out. Help me. They're a tornado. They're like, Who are you? Oh, we don't have your form you signed on the lease. We can't help. You can't put a maintenance request in right now.
Not sign up for the $10 a month insurance, sir. We're sorry. Those windows are now yours to replace.
So you're going to have to replace those windows at a cost of $800? No, I'm dying. I'm getting sucked out of the building. Help me.
We recommend heading towards the hallway so you yourself can replace your windows.
You're not in the portal yet, so we can't help you with maintenance.
We can't help. Yeah, you got to do it yourself. Yeah, your first rent check hasn't gone through. Also, Jake texted in, one of our listeners, and said, my wife and daughter went to the basement and didn't wake me up. They left him asleep, which I think is so fun.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. What are the odds?
We're going to protect ourselves, but what are the odds?
I hired the divorce lawyer, Jonathan Merrill, already anyway. Might as well end this right now. The top of the house gets taken off. Oh, and then talk about how much I loved him tomorrow.
Well, then you also get the life insurance, see?
God. Yeah, it was really insane. I was out there grilling on my Weber there, my beautiful Weber electric lumen grill, making some chicken, and I'm about a little under a mile from Wrigley Field, and it's like 5:30, and I hear Journey, because Journey, Def Leppard, and Steve Miller were at Wrigley Field last night.
What a great night.
And I guess they moved it all up because they saw the storms coming in, because I think all those bands wanted the money. They didn't want to say we're going to postpone, like Noah Kahan didn't be safe with the fans out there. Mm-hmm. I think all those bands said, like, we want our cash tonight.
Listen, and let me tell you something. I say this as somebody who's seen Def Leppard a bunch of times, who's seen Journey a bunch of times. I've not seen
Steve Miller.
I have not. I just called him Dave Miller. Sorry. But I've not seen him. But I've seen both a bunch of times. I think the clientele is okay with an early show. Like, I'd be ecstatic if I was like, oh, we could just see them and leave at 8:30.
Yeah.
I would have went to the show had I known that we were going to leave at 8:30.
I think they had to find Steve Miller. They said you're going to go on at 4. He was probably getting that early senior breakfast.
Raising canes across the street.
Or the senior dinner, you know? Guy's out there having his dinner.
Some chicken. Like, wait a minute.
He goes, I need a nap before I go on. What are you talking about? I can't go on at 4. And as I heard this, really loud. By the way, Fall Out Boy was the loudest show ever at Wrigley last year when Kenzie was there.
Oh. It was awesome.
But I heard that show at my house before I got over there, and this was as loud as Fall Out Boy Journey was. Again,
was it? I love Journey.
Older crowd, maybe the hearing issue. They wanted to go louder. I don't know.
Even the people in the band, they don't know what it sounds like.
But I felt bad for Journey because they were playing this at like 5:45. I'm like,
why? That's awesome. They have their whole evening.
But come on, this song deserves a good like 11 p.m. showing, right? And they're playing like 6.
I have to say, so I saw Journey. The most recent time I saw Journey was at the Aragon before they did Lollapalooza.
Oh yeah, they did a special show,
and it was called An Evening with Journey. I found out I just want like dinner with Journey because they played for over 3.5 hours.
Oh, that's good.
And then in the middle, they just jammed without doing a song for over 45 minutes.
Oh, that's a lot.
And I was standing. I'm like, there's not a lot of seats here.
I mean, it's the same guitar riff over and over again. I mean, come on.
I was like, that's fine. I would love to hear Faithfully if we could just... Because he hadn't did it before, the guitar solo. So I'm like, okay, if we could just get there. And everybody left during that 45 minutes once. Which I was like, is everyone just having like, I think it was like their dinner break?
Yeah.
And everyone just left one time.
Oh, the band left, not the people in the crowd?
Yeah, no, one member at a time.
Oh. I thought you meant the crowd all got a drink.
No, like the singer was there like riffing and then he left. And then like one of the guitarists left because you know me, I don't say bass and guitar, I just say two guitarists, two people with a guitar in their hand. One of them would leave, then the other would leave, then the drummer was gone. Like everyone just took a leave of absence during the solo.
You think they did a dinner break in the middle of the concert?
Because each of them were gone for about 5 to 10 minutes and then they came back. Like they got like a refresher and I was just like, I don't think I need an evening. I love them. I don't need an entire evening with Journey is what I learned that night.
I remember I heard like pour some sugar on me like around 7:45 on my deck.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get to the hits, baby.
I think it was done by 8:30. They got everybody out of there because they knew the storm was coming in. Again, Noah Kahan said like, I'm good. You guys should just go. And then no one leaves. Like Case was there Saturday night. No one wanted to leave and they all stayed. And then
they all got stranded.
Yeah, they got stranded and wet. So, listen, a lot of people, 200,000 people are without power this morning, too, because of these tornadoes. Somebody texted me early when I got in here at 4:30 about that, and There's nothing more miserable than your electricity going out. It shows that you can't be like The Walking Dead. When the zombies come, you're not picking up a crossbow and all of a sudden you're awesome at it. The electricity goes out, you're like crying because there's no Wi-Fi. At least maybe I'm speaking for myself here. But
I have to say, I actually used a bow and arrow last night in my basement.
You use a bow and arrow in your basement?
Yeah, we have like a padded one that I got Tristan.
I thought you were going to say husband annoyed you a little too much.
and we were down there for like an hour and a half. So we did Pop-A-Shot and ping pong, like whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like digging through stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh, remember when I got you like the cushioned bow and arrow set so you could practice? I was busting it last night. I was doing so good. Bullseye, bullseye, bullseye. It was awesome. So I was ready for zombies.
Now I want you to then think no electricity forever.
No, I mean, I don't want that.
Of course not.
I was just saying I was really good with the bow and arrow.
I just think in the middle of that, when the electricity gone, 2 days in, I'm ready for a zombie to eat me and I'm done. So I can't tap out. I can't do it.
It sucks. I went without electricity for 4 days, as long as I ever went. When I lived in Florida, it was Hurricane Irma.
Oh,
Remember
boy.
Hurricane Irma?
I do.
Coming on through. And bringing down Omniville, and it just destroyed my place. And I did not have power for 4 days, and it was awful. Because you don't really know what to do.
You don't know what to do. There's nothing to do.
Oh, it's like,
As Case says, the 1800s were probably pretty bad mostly, and that's no electricity.
I think the 50s sucked too.
Well, they had electricity then.
Yeah, but barely. It wasn't good electricity. The world sucked until like 20 years
Wait.
ago.
wait.
It wasn't
a lot of good
good?
stuff happened 20 years ago.
It wasn't good electricity?
No, it probably like shocked a bunch of people. It set a bunch of stuff on fire.
All right.
Think about the strides electricity's made. Look, try to plug in a light bulb from the 50s. You're basically going to be standing in the dark still.
Okay. I think
all those movies look really bright.
I don't think electricity
sunshiny.
has changed that much in 50 years.
I guarantee it's gotten better. Get an
You
electrician
think
on the phone.
light bulbs have changed that
Well,
much?
yes, of course.
I'm siding with
The
Kenzie here
world
with
is
that.
brighter than it used to be. Electricity got better.
I mean, I
This
guess.
isn't even a question. I know this.
Well, you weren't there, so calm down. If anybody knows, it would be Brian.
Yeah.
How do light bulbs look then first now?
Let me tell you something. When I came home from World War II, it was light. Okay.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 host You're Too Sweet. God, I love that song. Brian and Kenzie, with a lot of people didn't expect this to happen in a discussion of tornadoes, and somehow we got on electricity is better today than it was yesterday, meaning back like 50 years ago or whatever, even 20 years ago. Big debate on the text line over it. But a lot of people checking in, including, electrical engineer here checking in from Mundelein. Says, can confirm physics hasn't changed, meaning that it's all the same.
Period.
Come on.
I love our
Her.
electrical engineers from Mundelein. We know what they're talking about there. Thank you for checking in on that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're saying.
So, Case, shove it.
No,
And anything, I prefer older light bulbs because you know how like the ones that are saving the earth that have that weird glow to them. I'm like, I don't love the color it's giving me. I'm gonna be honest.
I like the color of new light bulbs.
I
I don't
don't.
want that
It looks like a
stank-ass
hospital.
yellow. Yeah, I don't
I'm-
want that. I don't want that yellow light.
It's called warm lighting, and I like to be warm in all aspects.
Well, another electrician checked in now, or at least an electrician, I should say. Another one from Mundelein, though. Case is correct. There are a lot of advancements made over the years in electricity.
Yeah, it feels good to be right.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of advancements, maybe like I feel like outlets have new fancy things you can do, but like not the bulb. Or like fine, like there's little bulbs and big bulbs.
Yeah, the bulbs have totally improved.
But like I think it's just the variety of bulbs.
No, I think
that's what it
light.
is.
I think light has gotten better.
Well, let's just say we're lucky to be living in interesting times.
Thank God.
Well,
We have hobbies.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for some music news to keep you up to date on everything. First off, Case, the producer we talked about yesterday, was at the Noah Kahan show on Saturday. He basically drove to Wisconsin for some nachos and lemonade for $42 and then turned around and came back.
It was a great day.
Good stuff. Good
I
stuff.
had a very good day.
Where we're just talking about, the storms last night with the show at Wrigley Field that was the Steve Miller Band, Journey, and Def Leppard. They moved it up quickly so they could get the show done by 8:30 before the tornadoes came through Wrigleyville, which they did, by the way. I saw it from my deck, and it was insane, as it was everywhere last night, as we talked about all morning. Where you were, it didn't matter. As Kenzie said, like, who let the tornadoes out?
Amen.
Whoop, whoop,
What is
whoop,
going
whoop.
on?
It wasn't like just that. You know, like one tornado was terrifying. We'll follow that sucker all the way through. Nope.
Does
There was
anybody
like,
just relax?
Yeah.
You know, how about you calm down?
Well, you try telling Mother Nature to calm down.
I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who broke up with girl, but like she needs to chill out. Okay, who hurt you?
hey, tornadoes, we see you. Sit down now.
We got
We
it.
got-
You're
sit-
windy. You're angry.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Sit the hell down. Now, up until last night and the night before, Case probably thought he saw the worst storm trying to get out of Noah Kahan.
That's true.
That was like hold my beer, the area said, for Monday and Sunday.
Very much so.
But so you left that show and didn't know what was going to happen, like most of our other 40,000 listeners that were there up in Alpine Valley. Now they have said when the new date is for Noah Kahan.
Yes, so Noah Kahan was supposed to be Saturday, July 13th. It was postponed, and we do have a makeup date.
Yeah.
It will be Wednesday, September 11th in Alpine Valley. Noah Kahan returns, yes, on a Wednesday.
Well, now you can't go.
No.
You're not
Yes,
taking
you can. Don't be such a wussy.
He can't
Yes, he can.
because he can't get back in time
What,
for
is it
the.
at 10 in the morning?
No, but he'll leave the show, try to
Yeah.
get to Alpine Valley. He won't get back in time for the show the next day.
He'll get here just in time, and that's fine. He's 25 and doesn't have kids. Pull an all-nighter and go to bed at 10:30 after the show.
Yes,
You'll be fine.
ma'am. Good Lord.
You'll be fine.
All right, I'll go have
Before
fun.
I had kids, I never came home. It didn't matter.
I'm not built like you.
You drink Monster,
I've got a monster with me right now.
so just get a couple extras.
Well,
Yeah.
then I have a heart attack.
You'll be all
You're
right.
just running on pure adrenaline.
Yeah.
I will say, I feel like I'm a very fair person when it comes to some corporations and especially some venues because running live music is an incredibly complicated ordeal. It is a bad move putting a show that was once on a Saturday onto a Wednesday, and it is notable that Alpine Valley, when they posted this on both Instagram and Facebook, closed off their comment section. You cannot comment on the post, which means they know it sucks too.
Listen, it's not their fault.
Well,
They
but-
didn't cause what happened. They're like, just keep it to yourself.
It all-
We should close our comment section every time we do something too. I'm tired of it.
But I think, Alpine Valley can't be that busy. It must be because Noah Kahan's schedule.
Well, he's in Europe starting soon. Everybody was looking at Labor Day as a weekend where there's no shows at Alpine Valley and there's no Noah Kahan shows listed. And we were like, oh my God, they're going to play Labor Day. This is going to be great. Everybody's going to be able to go that had tickets. This will all make sense. It is a Wednesday in September now instead.
Listen, Noah Kahan is allowed to have fun on Labor Day and not work like the rest of us.
But his job is fun. It's like our job. It's we have a fun job.
He's got to work. He's got to sing. His throat hurts. It's a whole thing.
How do you know his throat
It's a lot
hurts?
because it's a lot of work.
What do you know about Noah Kahan's throat?
You know what? Do you think he enjoyed the flight and the drive to Alpine Valley? He just went to Labor Day.
I know he did because he was playing golf all day before it started storming.
Well, yeah, but then he
Oh.
got stuck there. He had to drive out. Maybe he never drove in. Seeing the
probably-
weather report.
I'm sure a
I
drone.
wouldn't have gone.
A drone lifted him from the parking lot and took him to the
It
stage.
was like a claw game at Perkins.
Yeah. Exactly.
Fine.
Took him out of Alpine Valley.
Wow. Well, they
You
also
know what?
they-
I thought you were going to tell me it's in like over a year. I'm impressed that they're squeezing this in September.
I'm not.
I am.
Yeah.
I really believed because he's doing a tour and stuff that it was going to, like you said, he's about to go to Europe, right? Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
Yeah.
Okay. And I really believed you were going to be like, Wednesday, September 2024. This sucks. He could get canceled before the end of there.
Again, it's incredibly complicated putting on a concert, let alone rescheduling one around other world tours. What tour? The world tour.
Amen.
But
Busy guy.
But putting this on a Wednesday sucks for everybody.
well, they couldn't put on Labor Day because Pearl Jam is at Wrigley Field. So I think the same kind of audience would go to Pearl Jam. Our people
I'm
would
willing
go.
I'm willing to take a risk and say that although there are people in this world that like Noah Kahan and that like Pearl Jam, I don't see that as being an issue. They're two totally separate
Here,
markets.
I'll knock this out right here. Brian, do you want to see Noah Kahan?
I actually do, but I'm not going to go to Alpine Valley on that
There
day
you
because
go.
I'm going to go to see Pearl Jam.
See?
All sorts of excuses.
Well, I'm not going to pull an all-nighter because I used to pull all-nighters all the time. Like you just said, I never came home, and I'm not.
Rock, beat, scissors, huh?
I'm not in that mode anymore. I'm not going to pull an all-nighter. And you know what? We should have Noah Kahan come in here in the studio and play live, and that would be nice.
I've been trying.
Well, why don't you work harder?
Yeah, he's going to be here Wednesday. There's no way he's busy.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.